everyone. Yeah, we're here again. This is Decency NCLEX Academy, and we are here is yet another Friday. And remember, Decency NCLEX Academy is always your vendor of good news. And our mission is simple. Our mission is just to help you get to the country of your dream, be it USA, be it Canada, be it UK. We are here. We are there to help. At every inch of the process, we're going to be assisting you in all those things. Okay, so you're all welcome to today's program. We have an amazing personality in our midst. So you're going to love her by the time she's done speaking with you today. So she's been a great motivation to a lot of people. A lot of people have actually, you know the way that they say that if you have a candle and your candle light is burning and someone has a candle and his light is not burning, when they come to you to take light from you, it doesn't reduce your shine. It does not reduce how you shine. You will still continue to be a candle and shine at your time. So this is what Chimdi has actually been doing to a lot of Nigerians, a lot of people across board who reach out to her asking, oh, girl, how did you do this? She's been able to share without holding back. And that's what I like. People that I bring here, for a fact, I do not pay anybody to be in this program. I'm supposed to pay, but I don't. Because of the common denominator that I'm looking for is the passion. They really, all the people that have been on our program really want to impact their community. They want to impact their society. That's why they don't charge me for it. And I'm grateful that we still have people in this generation who do not want to, base everything on monetary value, but on the impact that they make on life. So this is one of them. And by the time she's done with you today, you will be the one to give the testimony. Trust me. So we are waiting for people to join us. There's a lot of people on our waiting room, so I'm just letting people in. And then I also want to know like where people are joining us from. So if you have just joined us, please kindly go to the comment section and let us know where you're joining us from. I will be reading the comment section briefly, okay? I'm going to just highlight. I just want to know like countries where people are coming from, because there are some specific things that, pertains to some countries that are not applicable in others. So I just want to know like where people are joining us from, so we can, when we speak, when we give our advice, we're able to like, give a rounded advice, something that is going to be all encompassing. All right, so thank you so much for letting us know where you are joining us from. Okay, let's read. I have people from Nigeria. Opeyemi, thank you for coming and thank you for commenting. I have HP, iPhone. It's always good when you come for programs like this. Just put your name on there so we can address you properly. Okay, Chidinma from Nigeria, thank you so much for joining. And I have Joy, I have Stella. Stella is in the UK. I will share now in UK group aspiration. So thank you, Stella, for sharing in the UK group. And I think I saw your call right now. So thank you so much. I wasn't able to pick the call, obviously, because I'm here, but thank you for sharing in the UK group as well. All right. So we have is it Dapret or Daprech from Lagos? Thank you. Ijoma, thank you for joining. I have Stella from UK. I have Nkiru from Nigeria. Let me see. Is there any other person? I see someone from Enugu, from Rivers, from Nigeria, Ibadan, from Nigeria, Lagos, UK, and Nigeria. So, okay, so we have many Nigerians in our midst today, and that's amazing. Okay, and then if you are not from Nigeria and you're watching us, Nigerians and UK, those in UK, if you're not from Nigeria and you're watching us live, you can also go to the comment section and let us know which country you're watching from, because we want to know how we give our advice on this program. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go right into the meeting. Today, we have a very interesting personality. I am supposed to read her biography, but I will spare you because there are a lot, okay? So I'm not going to go into it, but I'm just going to give you a brief introduction to who she is. But Chimdi, I wanted to call her Boss Chimdi, but there's a bigger approach to naming her right now. So it's Dr. Chimdindu Badejo. You are welcome to this program. We are so excited. We are so excited to have you today. I mean, it's not easy to get people of your like, but we're happy that you tried to squeeze us into your program. Guys, you won't understand what happened today. She's supposed to have a court session with one of the patients today because of her job, but she decided to move it because she wants to be in this program. That's what I'm talking about. Passion, guys. You need to, test. The only thing that you can use to test if you're in the right career or in the right job is the passion you have for that job that you're doing. So passion is the litmus test for the appropriate profession that you want to be in. Just use your passion to test it. Okay, so she's so passionate about impacting life. She has been in the business of impacting life. If I say some of the things that I know that she does, I believe I will be taking the glory and I will make people praise her or something like that. But she has done a lot in impacting life, both those in Nigeria. She's been helpful in even seeing so many people, through schools and so many charity work and all that. So, and then aside from that, she's a registered nurse. She came into the United States as a registered nurse. And since she came into the United States, guys, you won't believe me. She's a woman, she's married, she has kids, she has been giving birth to kids and doing her program. She did her master's first, she did her doctorate degree, and trust me, some of them she'll be pregnant and at the same time fighting so hard to be on time on all her assignments. And she never missed any of those milestones that she set for herself. So is a very interesting thing. If you can listen to her today, I believe you're going to get something that will help you to be more motivated in whatever challenges you're passing through in your own career. If you're a mother of many kids, this is one. She has 3 kids also. If you're a mother and a wife and you play so many roles in the family, trust me, you have someone today who is going to speak to you in that direction. And I believe she's going to start, just in the layman's term to tell you guys how she got here, how she got where she is today. All right. So Dr. Chimdindu Badejo, first of all, let's get to know you because I know that Chimdindu is an Igbo name and Badejo is Yoruba name. What happened? Our brothers in Nigeria, our Igbo people. How come it slipped through our fingers? Okay, so tell us, can you give us a little bit of intro? Okay.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, everyone, wherever you're joining from. And I mean, I'm almost short of words at this point because it looks like you've defined me more than I would have defined myself.
I didn't even go half, trust me.
So when you're listening to something about you and you're like, so I'm this good. Well,
Wow.
thank you very much. Yes, I am my name is Chimdindu Ni Onyekwe. Currently Chimdindu Badejo, married to a Yoruba handsome man. That, yes, of course, the Igbo people they were not quick enough. So yes, I mean, nothing. There's something I always say, nothing, there's no perfect time for anything. There's no perfect time. The time you are in right now is the perfect time. And I think that's the slogan that I've always worked with. And that's what I've always held on to. And that's what has propelled me up to this point. I am a graduate of starting with School of Nursing UNTH in Enugu, and then a graduate of for my BSN from Unizik in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, and then my master's degree and my doctorate degree from 2 different universities in America. So currently working as a psych nurse practitioner, and yeah, I mean, that's the news in brief. I'm a mother of three wonderful kids. My last is just 4 months old. I'm back to work, as you can see. So yeah, I think that's me in a nutshell. We would go into details as we continue.
All right. Thank you so much. And then when women, especially those that are, playing multiple roles, when you guys define yourself, I just, something that comes to my mind is, how do you do it? You understand? So, Chimdi, for a fact, I know that you've not stopped studying since you got to the US. You've been in school ever since you came to this country. And at the same time, you have been giving birth at the same time. You have been a wonderful mother, a passionate mother. Honestly, when I say mother, you are a passionate one that will do anything for your kids. Okay. And at the same time, you're going to work, you're going to school, you're a wife, you're a mother. How do you combine these three very tasking roles?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. Let me not put down the effort. It's not easy. Sometimes some things are just a factor of how much you want it. It's a factor of how much do I want what I want. If I want something so bad, I would go for it no matter what the obstruction is. If I don't have food to eat, and you say that I have to trek to somewhere for like 20 hours, because there is no option, I have to do it. So for me, there was no option. I just had to succeed. I just had to get to where I wanted to be. I wasn't comfortable with where I was. I wasn't passionate about bedside nursing. I think that's one of my first or motivating factors is I wasn't very passionate about bedside nursing. I loved it, but I felt it was just a stepping stone for me. I always saw myself in a different scenario. So it depends on where you're seeing yourself, what is pushing you. So where I wasn't passionate about it. I wasn't having fun with it. I wasn't enjoying. I was not waking up to go to work and I'm like excited or thrilled. So where I am right now, it's something I look forward to. I wake up in the morning and I'm actually looking forward to going to work. It's just a matter of how bad I wanted to move to where I saw myself, and I wanted it so bad. And that's the role determination plays in one's life. If you're a determined person, how determined are you? How desperate are you to get what you want? And I've also just been a very desperate person, but I say I started school of nursing. I went into school of nursing at 16. Um, yeah, I went into school of nursing at 16, and by the time I finished, I was 20. I finished, and just the next year, I went in for my BSN, and like in my class that we were up to about 60 people that graduated from my school of nursing. We're only 2 people that were the first people that got in for our BSN. So for me, it's just I'm just that way. I just get motivated, I get determined to do something, and it just consumes me because I want to. That's where I'm seeing myself. I'm no longer seeing myself at this point, and I start seeing myself somewhere else. Therefore, where I am is no longer comfortable. I start moving so fast. So I'm not saying it was hard. It was hard. Waking up every morning, tending to kids. In the space of the 5 years in question, I've had 3 kids. So waking up every morning, either being pregnant, tending to a little baby, tending to kids in a new country, and being in school. So it's all been difficult. It's all been challenging, but also it's not been impossible.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Thank you so much for that. I'm learning a lot. And I didn't know you finished School of Nursing at 16. And my eyes popped out at that.
Started,
Oh,
not
it
finished.
started. Oh,
Yes,
started. Sorry. Okay.
finished at 20.
Even at
Yeah.
that, starting at 15 is quite early, but Yeah, a smart kid. So, but one thing I want to, before we get into how did you get into your, you know, who is
Yeah.
your mentor? Let's find out where you're coming. Who is your role model? Because it looks like you're trying to become like someone. Who is your mentor?
So
Mhm.
career-wise, my mother.
Your mother. Okay.
My mother is a nurse,
Mhm.
and um, I think just seeing her at an old, I would say old age because she's my mom, but she's not so old. But seeing her at her age do all she does, I see her. I saw her from when we were all in Nigeria. She prepared for her NCLEX. She was the one that wrote her NCLEX first in the house. She passed her NCLEX. She moved to the United States with my siblings and the other and my other siblings and my dad. And then I've seen her since then. She went in, got her master's, got her doctorate degree. I mean, at that age, I keep on saying if she can do it, then why wouldn't I be able to do it?
Like I'm smarter than my mom. I can do it.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I'm smarter than my mom. If she can do
I
it, then
think
I
I
can do
have.
it. Okay, that sounds good.
Yes.
But you said moved with your siblings, so you came with your mom to the United States. Is that correct?
No, she
Why?
moved with my siblings. I was above the age where I could not
Oh,
fit in. So
just 21.
we're five kids,
Mhm.
and the first two, which is my elder brother and myself, we aged out.
Oh,
And then she came with my three younger ones.
mm.
So for myself, I did the whole process from scratch. I enrolled with an agency, pursued NCLEX, and just did the whole process from scratch.
So all my people that have been coming to me asking me, my child is almost 18 years, is almost 20 years, 21 years. 21 years is the cutoff age, but it's not impossible. Those kids can actually become registered nurses and do the process themselves. So when you worry so much about, how will I bring them, blah, 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 just get yourself in first. It might just be a very good motivation for your daughter, your son, or anything. But let's get into it. What's the process of getting into a master's degree program in the United States?
Okay, so maybe I think because a lot of or because there are different points of entry for nursing, let's just talk about the nursing, how to the academic pathway. So whether you're an RN, or whether you have your RN or your BSN, there's a pathway for you to go into your academic journey in the US. But if you want to get your master's, one of the prerequisites is that you must have your BSN. There is a pathway that makes you go from your RN straight to your master's. But for the most part, it's just advisable that you have your BSN first. And getting your BSN, whether you get it from your home country, I believe all the countries in Africa I've not seen someone that said my BSN from my country was not accepted in the US. So
Yeah, I have a question on that because so majority of the people who are here and are in the UK, and most of them go to UK and do top-up programs to do their BSN, they have to do like a 1 year top-up. And there has been rumors that the top-up programs may not be accepted in the US as a BSN, bachelor's degree. So I don't know, do you know anyone that have done it, or do you have any
um,
idea?
I do for the UK program, I do not know. That's why I specifically said in Africa, because they do the full BSN program. They carry out the full curriculum. So even if you do your RN and you're going in to do your BSN, you're still like spending 4 years in school. You're still doing like the whole BSN program as if you entered from the first year. But from the UK, I've not seen someone that did their BSN in the UK that also went ahead with their master's straight just with that BSN. What I can tell you is that something that is typical with the universities here is that they would ask you to send in your transcript, and that transcript is going to be evaluated. So depends on what courses that has been covered or what the curriculum looks like. They might just, if they wouldn't say, oh, this BSN is not accepted. All they might say is it's lacking maybe statistics, it's lacking in this, and you just do a one-off prerequisite and you get it. They would never say, oh, that this, this BSN you did, we're not accepting it, therefore you're not getting admission, or you're going to start from your BSN afresh. As far as you have the the bachelor's certificate, you only need to do the courses that have not been covered or that makes your certificate or what you have not match up to their own standard. For me, I didn't have to do any prerequisites. I had I presented my RN and my RN transcript and my bachelor's transcript, and they put it together, and it was equivalent to their entry level.
Right.
So that's all you have to do is put it together, put whatever degrees you have together, present it. And if it's equivalent to their entry level, they take you. If it's not equivalent to their entry level, they would ask, they would tell you what is lacking.
So when you say present, how do you present it?
For the most part, it's just talking to recruiters. So if you know the university, the college you want to go into, you reach out to them, and it's not difficult. It's just all these things happen online. That's the convenience of actually being here. I came into the country, and from the day I came in, from almost from before I even came in, but mostly from when I came in, you're online. I'm reaching out to different schools. I probably reached out to over 70 schools. Let me say 70 might be an exaggeration, but almost 50 schools. Like, you just reach out to them and then they're calling you back. Once you go in, you put in your phone number, you put in your details, and then they will just send you email with what you requested for, or they're calling you back. Somebody is calling you and giving you clear answers. If they don't have the answers, they are directing you to someone who has the answers. So it's not, it takes a little bit of time. So even if you don't have, even if you're not sure and you have different schools. And then one other thing is that one school might say, oh, your degrees do not meet our entry level, you might require a prerequisite. And then you reach out to another school and you find that they have a different requirement. So you don't stop your search from one school. Searching for the right school. Searching for the right school is actually something that you take time to do. It's something that you take time to do, and you do it once and do it right. Yes.
Awesome. That's good. If we may, know what universities did you do your program? Stella is on it already. So what university do online master's program from outside of the US? But first of all, let's do yours. How did you do? Which university did you apply to eventually that took you?
Yeah, the one I did for my master's, for my my psych mental health nurse practitioner program, which is also my MSN, is Walden University.
Walden. Okay.
Walden, yes. Walden University. Yeah, and for my doctorate degree, I did it at South College.
Okay. So now, guys, Walden is WALDEN. Walden University. You can look that up. I'm going to put it on the comment section as well. So you can look it up. You can go to their website. Someone is asking what universities can you do outside of the US. You can reach out to this university we are talking about that she went through and ask them if you can start your master's outside of the US. For MSN, I know for sure you can start, but for some masters that requires practicum that you have to, go to hospitals here in the US to do like a preceptorship or some kind of clinicals, you might not be able to do them even from outside of the US. So that's what I can say, but you can just reach out to them and find out what they're going to tell you. And we're going to continue our conversation with Chimdi. If you have any question, put them on the comment section. I will read them out. Treasure, I believe, will answer your question. She has mentioned the university that she went with. And then she said for the doctoral program, she went to South College. And then the next thing is, what is the duration of the MSN, the master's degree program, and the PhD? And which area did you specialize in?
Okay, so the duration for my master's. Now, let me say that there is an option to do a program that goes from BSN to DNP straight. So you're doing, instead of breaking it into two, you're doing a straight on full from BSN. You have your BSN, so you go from BSN to DNP. Now that program is a little bit shy of 4 years. Something I have, let me say why I did not go through that pathway, and it's left for everybody. You would also have the options depending on what your life is like, what your program is like. I did not do that because I felt like 4 years is too long for me to be in school at a time without break. That's first. And then with doing my master's first, what I found was that I could do my master's, get my board certification, and start working at a master's at my master's level while pursuing my doctorate degree. So if I can get the master's first and start working at that level and then pursue the doctorate degree, why do that stretch? And also the burnout factor. Being in school for that stretch of time, you will get burnt out. And then I've also noticed that a lot of people that I've seen that went in for it didn't eventually finish it in less than 4 years. So most of the people that go into it do so because of the time frame looks like it's a little bit shorter if you do it as a combined program. But at the long run, it's not shorter. You would eventually find out you're spending even more time. So for my MSN, I specialized in mental health, psychiatry. So I did my psych mental health nurse practitioner program and my MSN, and it was a 27-month program for me.
27 months.
Yeah,
wow.
It was a 27-month program for me. It can be 24 months. That's 2 years. It can be 24 months depending on when you start. So it depends on when you start, and also it depends on the school. So people that start in winter, there's a period, those are things that just when you want to start, the recruiter will discuss it with you. But it was a 27-month program for me, and I finished it. And then when I enrolled for my DNP, I did my DNP as a stretch program without any breaks, without any like in between semesters. I didn't take a break. So it was kind of accelerated. I didn't take any break. I just was in school for a whole stretch of 18 months. Of 18, between 18 to 20 months for the whole stretch of time. So I could do it in more time if I wanted to be a little bit more relaxed, but I wanted to get it over with. So
I would do the same thing. If
I wanted to get it over with so that
I like setting short goals for myself. Like if it's 4 years, it's not for me because I like to just do little thing and celebrate myself, give myself a pat on the back. Oh, Decency, you're doing well. And then I go over to the next one. So, but if you're there for 4 years, somehow it becomes like punishment.
Yeah.
If you remember you have to study, you say, oh no, this thing again. All right. So now, someone was talking somewhere. I don't know where I saw that video, maybe on YouTube. Someone was talking, said that one thing with the US system is that when you come in here, you can get anything you want. You can go to the car dealership company and say, I want a car, I want that car. And they'll just give it to you and tell you how much you pay every month. And then you want, if you want to go to school, you say, I want this school. They will give it to you and tell you how much you pay every month. So, coming to cost of the program, how cost effective, how will you say the cost of these two programs are with the university that you went? Did you choose any of this university based on costs? Was cost one of the things you looked at when you were choosing your university?
When I was choosing my DNP, yes, but when I was going for my MSN, no. So let me say the difference. For my MSN, when I did it, it was $45,000. So that 45, what I considered, there were schools that were cheaper, but there were also a lot of factors that I was considering. I was considering flexibility. I knew that within the program, I was just married. I was just married for a year before I moved to the US. So I knew that within the program that I'll be actively trying to conceive, being pregnant, or having a little baby. So I had that in mind when I was looking for the school I wanted. What I was asking was, are there schools that will require minimal classroom time? I didn't want an in-person program. I wanted something that would be strictly online. So I had a lot of schools that met that criteria, but they would now say maybe once in every quarter or every 6 months, you would travel to the school. And I looked again and I'm like, are there schools that can eliminate this completely, where I don't have to travel to the school at all? So that kept on narrowing down my choices. So I'm reaching out to school. Once you say, oh, you have to come to the camp on campus this time and this time for this practical, I'll drill out this. That already eliminates the school for me. So I'm looking for alternatives. So what made me eventually choose this one is that I eventually got this one, and it didn't require any on-campus assessment or evaluation or anything. What it did for me was it was mostly a year and 3 months of theory, which was online. And if you wanted to write exams, the exams were also, if we're going to write exams were also online. They could proctor the exams, like just the way we are on a Zoom call now. You'll be like on a camera and write your exams on the online. So after a year and 3 months of the theory part, when it got to where I had to do clinicals, they would just require you to look around where you are and find a hospital that you can do your clinicals in. So in the hospital, like, good example, the office I'm sitting right now was the hospital I did my clinicals. This is the hospital I did my clinicals. So it was around my location. I reached out to them. Oh, this is a psych hospital. I reached out to them. I'm a student PMHMP. I'm looking for a preceptor. I require a psychiatrist for this number of hours. I require a psych nurse practitioner for this number of hours. I require a therapist for this number of hours. So you look for something around you. When you find it, the school will collaborate with the place and see, does it meet criteria? Does it meet the demands that they will be making of these students? Once it does. So those were the things that that I was considering is once I had all the once I knew that this school was flexible enough, I reached out again to them and asked them, if at any point I want to stop this program, maybe I have my baby, or maybe pregnancy becomes difficult, or maybe it just gets overwhelming, can I stop this program and maybe skip one semester or so? And they're like, oh yes, you are able to skip a semester, and your tuition is not counting. For the semesters that you're out, you don't have to pay tuition. As far as you let us know these 2 semesters you're not going to be in class, that's so those are the questions. So everything is about planning and about knowing this is what I have in mind. So those are the questions I had as I'm looking at schools. The first thing I'm doing is browsing what schools offer this. As I'm looking at them and reaching out to them, I'm writing down what they offer. I'm scraping out this one, I'm scraping out this one. I know what I have in mind, I know what I'm looking at, and I know the questions I'm going to be asking. So now, depending on what you want, so everything is going to be tailored to you. Let me also mention that I had schools in my state that are close to me that were offering the same program at a cheaper rate, a significant, like, let me say, up to $10,000 cheaper. Yes, because if you attend schools in your state, the brick and mortar kind of school, not online, like you're having maybe this number of classes a week in campus, in person, so that is cheaper. But I could not commit to that, despite it being cheaper and being close to me. I could not commit to that because I knew that I can't, most of my schoolwork, I did them in the middle of the night. Yes, that's when I had chance. So I wanted something that if I'm at work and I had the minute, I could bring out my assignment and I'm doing it. I could take my earpiece and I'm listening to a pre-recorded lecture. So that's what I wanted. So it depends on what you're looking at. If you feel, oh, I'm single, I don't have kids, I'm not planning to have any obstruction in the next 2 years, why spend 40 something, why spend 50 something, why spend 60 something thousand on a program when I can do it for almost $20,000 or $10,000 cheaper if I do it here? I don't have all these reasons. So why not? You do it in state. So that's one of the things you do, is to check in your state. What are they offering? What if you do your program in your state, that it gives you a lot of a much more financial benefit, a higher financial benefit than when you do it online or out of state. So those are the things that you would consider. Or you say, oh, I don't have my kids are all grown up. Nobody is in the house. You don't have kids in the house. Nothing is going to, you're not about to have any child emergency. You're not about to. So those are the things to consider. So it's all dependent on what your schedule is like. So depending on that, you can now choose, do I go for something that is more expensive, or do I go for something that is less expensive? So for my tuition, for my master's, I paid like $45,000, and then for my doctorate, it was 24,000. Now, also remember that when you are in the US, you have the option of using student loans. So this loan is available to you and does not have any interest accrued for the duration of being in school. But when you are done with school and you start paying it back, then it starts having interest. So the interest rate is depending on what is available or what is obtainable at the time. But just know that once you're schooling in the US, loans are available for you to go to school. You're not compulsorily paying out of pocket. Then you can also decide not to use the loan and pay as you go. And as you you're paying like each semester, you're paying the cost of that semester. So that way it's not like when you're starting the program, you're counting a bulk of 40-something thousand to give them. So no, per semester, maybe you pay what the cost of this semester is. The next semester, you're paying the cost. That way is how you can deal with the funds. I don't know if there is any other question on tuition that I did not address.
You addressed all the questions, and I just we're gonna do a little bit of exercise. Judging by what she said, some people choose an university based on cost. Some people choose based on flexibility. So on the comment section, can you just tell us what you would choose by? Would you choose an university because of flexibility or because of cost? I want to see responses on the comment section. Please, we're over, while you're doing that, I want to make a quick announcement. We're almost over 100, and recently I got an information that my face is being used by scammers. They opened a Facebook account on my name. I opened some other social media accounts on my name, and they're asking people for money. So if anybody asks you for anything, money, some very important information, numbers, social security, anything that has to do with, I will never come to your page to ask you for money. By God's grace, God has blessed me, and I won't ask you for your personal information. So please, guys, be careful. I don't want any of you to be scammed of your hard-earned money. So please kindly be aware that this is happening, and also make sure that you don't fall a victim. Thank you so much, Dr. Chimdi. It's been an interesting time with you, and we're still on the program, and we're still going to be talking more about all that you did, both career-wise and any other information you want to give us. There has been some questions that people has been bringing, and some of the questions, like the one that Vic asked. She said she's a mental health nurse practitioner. I want her to kind of ask this question. I will give you the mic, Vic, if you're available, so you can ask this question in-house. So because I believe that we have to bounce back to understand where you are, what kind of DMP did you do, where did you do the DMP, so that we can know your location, because you're talking about being an international student, and you also said you're a DMP, you did your doctor in nursing practice. So if you can ask your question in-house so we can understand you more, that would be better. And for the study visa, yes, we have a way that we can help you get a study visa, but you have to get a program first that will accept you to do a doctoral degree program with them, all right, before we start pursuing the visa. All right, so but for now, let's look at other questions that we have on the comment section. I also have Emanuela. Emanuela is saying, does that involve the UK hospitals? So like someone who is in the UK having to do a practicum in the UK for a US-based university. Do you think that is possible?
No, because I don't know if UK has nurse practitioners that are prescribers. So I think the job description, it lies on the job description. The job description of master's degree holders that are nurse practitioners in the UK varies from those in the US. So just without even my doctorate degree, as a nurse practitioner in the US, I am able to independently see patients. I am able to independently diagnose patients and prescribe medications to them and refill prescriptions. And so I don't think the nurse practitioners or the master's degree holders in the UK have the same job description, which is why what they would request of you here is either a psychiatrist, either you're shadowing a psychiatrist or a nurse practitioner. I don't that's why it cannot. I believe they would only say, oh, you can do the theory parts remotely, but when it gets to the point where you have to do the practical, it has to be in the US, because the job description is not the same thing.
Okay, thank you so much. I have someone, his name is Jackson. Jackson wants to ask a question. I just want us to hear him out and see what he has to say. Well, Jackson, I've asked you to unmute yourself. How are you doing today, Jackson?
I'm all right, Decency. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
All
Yeah,
right, Jackson.
I know I'm always disturbing on your page, but
No, you're good. We always like your inputs.
right.
Go
So
ahead.
some of us. My name is Jackson, and I'm calling from the UK. I'm a nurse as well. Alex, 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm coming. Sorry, my son is just disturbing. So I'm a nurse in the UK. Well, I'm still from Nigeria. Then I'm currently practicing in the UK. But I have a concern about American system of education. For me, I really want to pursue my education in the US, but I just want a career change. Yeah, I wanted to speak to Decency directly, but again, you are here today, so I mean, two good heads is better than one. So, Alex, could you go? Mommy is calling. Wait, hold on. So, my question is that for some of us like me, I want to change career from nursing and probably to something else, and I want to go back to school, like do undergraduate from square one. So, but again, I was trying to do that recently, like apply for student stuff and all of that. But I got some of my friends were saying that because I've got EB3 PAL, I've passed NCLEX, I've got EB3 PAL and all of that, it's not going to be possible for me to come in as a student. So I have a concern about that. I said, let me put it up to you, Decency, and our lovely sister here, she, Theology, I mean. So this is my first question. Number two is that for those of you that are schooling, like you say you live somewhere, but you school in another state, assuming that someone live in a state and then you are schooling in another state that requires you to come probably twice in a week or once in a week, I don't know, like, what is the flexibility of movement in the US? Like, you want to move from one place to another to attend class. I mean, so these are the few things. And then the cost of education in the US. Like you say student loan is available for everyone and it's interest free. And sorry, just
interest free while you're in school, but once you're out, it's supposed that you'll be working, so you'll be paying the money and also the interest.
All right. So yeah. So is that also available to students that are coming from international? Like, if let's say I just coming through a student visa and then I enter American university, can I apply for student loan as well? So these are the few things I just want to know.
Okay. Dr. Chimdi, you can take any of those questions that you want, and then I'll take the rest.
Okay. So about commute transport system. So if you're in a place and your school is in another state, if it's not a virtual school and you're needing to go in for classes a couple of times a week, it's not possible. It's just not possible. You cannot be flying to and fro where you're working or where you're residing to another place for school, for classes that are weekly classes or something. So where out of state school works is maybe if they're requiring you to maybe travel once in 4 months for maybe something like a couple of days, or once in 6 months for maybe 2 days, a 2 days class or a 2 day session. There are some schools that said that they require one visit to the campus quarterly. They require one visit to the campus every 6 months. If that is the case, then that's possible. But where if you're doing even for the school, a school that requires you to come to class 3 times in a week or twice in a week would not take you if you're living out of state.
Right.
Yes, so it's for the residents of the state. Otherwise, you would just do something that is primarily online. And then the other question about change in
think it was the status coming in here with visitors visa. Anyway, for me, I think you have gone so far in the process. Okay, you've already gotten your EB2 approval, EB3 approval, and all that. So you're far in the process to come and go. So student visas and non-immigrant visas. So you're already on the immigrant pathway. So if you're in the UK and have you done your BSN, Jackson? Have you done your BSN?
No, I really don't want to do anything in that direction. That's why I'm just being.
So you can actually do a BSN program. That BSN program can be done virtually, right, Chimdi? GCU can do via BSN program virtually, because I know there's a Nigerian that I've actually connected to GCU that started her program from Nigeria before she got here, but she was able to pay. But one thing about doing that is that you have to pay. You have to pay out of pocket for everything. You're not going to be giving any grants. So grants and money that is, that school student loan, they are all for people who are paying taxes. You have to pay taxes to be able to get benefits. So it's like tax benefits. You can't get it from just coming to the US and they will take their taxpayers' money and give to you just because you have a student visa. No, you have to be contributing as well. So that's one of the benefits. You won't be qualified for the student loan or grant. Grant is the one you're not going to pay back. I got grant when I came to the US, and their grants are, sometimes it's like $5,000, you get in grants. And so you can get grants, you can get student loan as well, you can get scholarships. So all these things are available to you, but though you have to apply for them, And there are some institutions and some collegiate societies that if you belong to, they would help to reduce your tuition by like 25%. I know like Black Nurses Rock, like if you belong to them, they have a partnership with so many universities and they can reduce your tuition for like 25%. So anything you're studying in that school, you're paying 25% less than an average student, which is not bad. So that's also something you have to look at if you're coming here for studies. And I wouldn't advise you do that. I expect that after this election, I'm not a predictor. I expect things to get better. Whichever way that things swing, we're going to see some movement with the visa bulletin. And at that point, you can come in here with your EB3 and go to your school, do everything you want to do if you don't want to do anything in the UK. But I've also seen people who are very in a haste to get something doing, that during this period of retrogression, they've been able to bag a BSN degree in the UK, which is not bad. But choices are different. So if you decide to choose to come over here and do your program, there's also pathways for it. Okay.
All right. So the last question I wanted to ask about the flexibility of school, like Chidi just mentioned. Like, is it possible to combine full-time undergraduate degree in America with work? That's one of my major challenges. I think
the person you're going to ask, this lady, ask her this question because she combined everything. Even if you give her another school, she will combine it.
I'm happy she's here today, so at least I can.
My hand no day for that one, please. Over to you.
I think you definitely can combine it, because work in America is flexible, and then school is also flexible. That's why I mentioned you have to have in mind what the questions you're asking. So one of the things you would be trying to find out from the school that you're attending is, do they have fixed times when you have to log on to listen to classes? So you see, that changes everything. So for instance, if I'm in school and they have pre-recorded lectures and they put it on the classroom chat, and pre-recorded lectures, they just say, oh, within this week or before Wednesday nights, you have to listen to this and turn this in and do this assignment and turn it in. They're not giving me a fixed time. Whereas some schools told me, okay, if you can be remote, but you compulsorily have to log on Tuesdays and Thursdays from this time to this time. And so you see, that makes a difference. So it all depends on the school you're reaching out to. And I chose a school that you don't have any fixed login time. All they had to do was to give me, this is the deadlines that you have in a week. So in the week, by Wednesday night, you should turn this in. By Friday night, you should turn this in. And by Sunday night, you should turn this in. That means between Sunday and Wednesday, I am choosing whatever time that is available to me to work, to do my schoolwork. And that helped me be able to. And then at work I was also negotiating at the same time, negotiating with my workplace, in the sense that I could say, oh, please, I want to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I want to do night shift instead of day shift. That way, if I'm able to do night shift instead of day shift, at night, sometimes the night shift is sometimes the night shift can be a little bit less chaotic because there are no family members. I'm not a fan. There are no there are no plenty, there's no a lot of moving around. Most of the patients are sleeping except there are emergencies. So I also have some time to myself, even during my work time, to attend to some of my schoolwork. So I was able to work a full-time job for nursing in America. It's just three 12-hour shifts. That's full-time. So if I have 7 days a week and I do 3 days and I work for 3 days, I have 4 days extra. So within that 4 days, I'm able to take out a couple of hours each day, or just even if I say, I'm going to take today and block out every other thing and do all the schoolwork I have for the week, you're able to do it and still have spare time for your family. So yes, I believe it's flexible enough to do. Difficult, yes, but very much doable.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chindi. I hope the questions that you have were answered, Jackson. Did we answer all your questions?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Decency, and our host today. God bless you. I'm very, very grateful to both of you.
You're welcome. All right, thank you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is still Decency NCLEX Academy, your vendor of good news. Our mission is simple: to make sure that you get the good news and make sure that you are on the right path to transition into the country of your dream. All right, we have another person on the call, JK. JK, I've asked you to unmute your unmute and turn on your video if you can, or if you may, and ask your question as well. JK.
Oh, thank you, Decency, for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Go ahead with your question. You raised your hand.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I was just asking the requirement for the DMP program.
Okay. All right. Dr. Chimde, what are the requirements for the DMP program?
A master's program, a master's degree. If you have a master's degree or you have a BSN.
Okay, let's find out from him. So JK, do you have a master's degree?
Yes, that's correct. I have a master's degree from the UK. So
okay.
Yeah, is it allowed?
That's the part that no, except you're not going to be doing, it's not going to apply in clinicals. They would want you to do some prerequisites.
Oh.
They would want you to do some prerequisites, and the prerequisites is like almost a year and 5 to 6 months.
Like doing another master's altogether.
Yeah, postmaster. Yes, you have to do something like a postmaster's, which a lot of schools don't offer. So let me share someone's experience. Yes. So I have a friend. We are all in this main together. We started pursuing school at the same time. He has a master's from Nigeria, and he wanted to go in and do his DMV straight, he eventually had regrets of just announcing the masters. He felt on the long run that he should have just gone in straight to do the whole PMHMP. He wanted to do psych, the whole nurse practitioner program afresh. Because the moment you tell them that you have a master's, you cannot unsay it. You cannot like, okay, let's forget I have a master's. Let's now start afresh. No, you already have it. You've already keyed it into their system that this is what you have. This is what. So I know it doesn't sound reasonable. My mom, before she came in, she also had a master's from Nigeria. Yes. So for all the schools she reached out to and said she wanted to now go ahead to do her NP, and she eventually could not get into them, and she had to get to a neutral school, like a school that she has not reached out to before, has not had any encounter with, and just did BSN to DNP without considering the masters at all. Except the cases where this might not apply is if you're not looking at the clinical practice, if you're not going into the clinical system. Let's say you want to go into maybe leadership or something like informatics, or depending on the field. But they are whenever you're going into the nurse practitioner field, where you're going to become you're going to become a prescriber, you're going to go into a provider level care kind of care. They're always skeptical about anything beyond your BSc outside of Nigeria, outside of the United States. So it depends on what you want. I would say if you want to go into the nurse practitioner field, and then of course then your DNP, when you reach out to schools to find out, to get information, just reach out as making inquiries, not stating that you case on the long run you want to neutrally just start from the beginning. Because I've seen it happen to a friend here, and then my mom also encountered it. So with UK-based MSN, I don't know if it would be any different, but I don't think so. Just because they're very skeptical about nurse practitioner level license and all of that. Because here as a nurse practitioner, you can literally open a hospital.
Yeah, they're providers. They're
Yes.
not nurses anymore, even though it's called nurse practitioner, but they are regarded as providers. Once you're a nurse practitioner, your employment level changes from registered nurse to provider because you can prescribe. Yeah. All right, I don't know if that answered your question. You can do a little bit of more digging. You can actually start now to start reaching out to schools, Walden, Grand Canyon University, South College, Chamberlain. There's a lot of universities in the US. You can reach out to them and ask them for information on, anonymously, you reach out to them and state this and see what they tell you so that you can start like preparing your mind. But these are life experiences that will bring to you, and I believe it's helpful, but you can still do a little bit of digging more to further prove the information we're bringing to you today. All right, I hope that answered your question, JK.
Yes, thank you so much. That was very good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. All right, and also we have so many other questions in the comment section, and we do not have so much time with us. We've spent 1 hour, 12 minutes on the program. And I believe that we've actually covered majority of the topics, and I would just want us to be rounding up a little bit. There are some questions about changing your visa, your visiting visa to study visa. It's possible. You can actually come here on a visit visa and say, oh, now the land is green on this side. I want to go to school. You can change it, but you must make sure that your visitor's visa is still unexpired. It's still in status. You're still in status, not an expired visitor's visa. It would be difficult for you to do that. But if you still have, like some of you, when you come in and you have 6 months and you change your mind, I think I want to go to school here, and you start applying, schools will accept you, and then you can now start doing, but you have to be in status. You have to actually make sure that your documents are not expired. I know a candidate that I had, and she did that perfectly. When her document was about to expire, she enrolled in a school just to maintain an active status in the US until she got her EB3, until she got an employer. She passed her NCLEX, got an employer, and now the employer filed for her, and she's now a residency green card holder. So you can actually do that as well. You know, it's possible. It's just a matter of what you want. All right. So one more question. I see one question that someone asked, and then also if you have question and you feel like you want to drop like 1 or 2 questions, just use the reaction button, raise up your hand. We'll take a few questions before we call it a day. All right, so but let's see. There's somebody that was asking about you say having a UK. Okay, that's like a contribution. So is it all specialties in nursing? Someone got a DMP that enjoy all privileges of DMP, like independent practice. Boss Chimdi.
Is it all specialties in nursing that can enjoy the privilege of like? No,
Like
it's not in all specialties.
Yeah.
It's not in all specialties. There are some, if you're depending on which you cannot do like, let's say informatics, and then you can have you can
Prescription privileges.
have prescription privileges or leadership. So it just depends on which area you are in. Let's say you do family nurse practice, adult gerontology, cardiac, mental health, different, just the way you have diverse fields in all our different countries. That is the same way they have diverse fields here. If you do a master's program in a specialty field in the hospital, dealing with patients, yes, you can have some privileges depending on the state. Now, in some states you can have independent practice, and some states you have limited practice or some restriction with practice. Like, for instance, if I'm in Texas now, and just the same way I'm in this state and I can practice independently, if I'm in Texas, for instance, I need a supervising physician. So I'll need a medical doctor that is supervising me. But whereas in the state I'm currently in Maine, for instance, just as a new graduate, I need a supervising physician for just 2 years. For instance, in Virginia, they need a supervising physician for just 3 years after graduation before you can be independent. Texas is you continually need a supervising physician. California, I believe. So different states have different requirements. It's not, that does not cut across board in all states in the US. So depending on the states you're in, you just browse. Does this state require, what does this state require to have independent practice privileges as a nurse practitioner? So that's information that is available online.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. I know there's a lot of questions. I'm just afraid that we can't take all. We have someone actually wanted to ask a question. Combat, is it combat? If you're ready, if you can raise your hand again, I'll use the reaction button and we can give you the opportunity to ask your question. Let me start from the last one. It says, as a registered nurse in Nigeria, how can I enroll in BSN in US? Can someone who is a registered nurse in Nigeria enroll to become a BSN student in the US? Dr. Chimdi, oh, okay, I can actually take that. So you can reach out.
I thought like you could take that one. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, all you have to do is to reach out to the school. What I'm going to do is to compile a list of school contact lists, like a customer care for so many schools, and I'll post it on our Telegram. If you're in our Telegram, please watch out for that link. I'll compile some list of all the contacts, school contact lists, for different schools in the US. And if you're in our Telegram, from there, you can just click on the link and, chat with them or, talk to them, call them and discuss with them, and they will tell you the requirement that they want you. Each school have their own different requirements. So it's not like a general requirement. Like JK was asking requirement for the DMP program. Every school will be different. So you have to get in touch with the school and find out what the school requires you to have. All right. So what else? And someone is asking that he's a PGD degree holder and is asking how can she can PGD in education from Nigeria give me opportunity to be a nurse educator in USA? I would say no, because the US system of education is different. Sometimes in the US you need to have obtained a degree higher than the degree that the people that you want to teach. Like if you want to be a teacher for those that are on BSN, you have to have your master's. So for those that are in master's degree, you can actually apply to become an educator or teach in university. For like Dr. Chimdi, for instance, she can teach in a doctoral program. She can teach in a master's degree program. You just need to be ahead of those people that you're teaching with your certification. All right. So for that, I would say it is not. I don't think they will require you to just have an education in any country and then you come in and start educating people. You need to be above them in this country with a level of education before you can teach. I've actually enrolled to teach in a school near me. There's a school near me here. I taught them for some time, but it's just so I have to submit a lot of lecture note, and they are all PowerPoint slides and all that. So it was too much for me, but you can do it. You can do that for a degree that is less than what you currently have as your qualification. So that is my answer to that question. And someone is also asking, as a registered nurse in Nigeria, can I enroll for BSN in the EU? I think we took that question already. And then, yes, I will be sending in the Telegram link shortly. Someone is asking, okay, I think this is V. V said BSN is Nigeria, MSc mental health nursing Nigeria. I am interested in DMP in the States. Okay, I thought she said she has DMP also. Okay, I need help as I have been. You is better to do BSN I don't know. So whatever you're saying, I'm going to send a link on our Telegram. Just go to that link. From that link, you can get in touch with the university directly and talk with them. Just expect the link by the end of today. All right. I'll be sending in the link for those schools in our Telegram group. All right. So let's see. Next question. Having a master's degree in UK is not a bad idea. Some schools will allow you do another master's, but reduce the time to half, even the tuition fee. That is correct. No. So if you want to do a master's degree in the UK, I didn't continue to advise Jackson because Jackson said he doesn't want to do it. But I know a lot of people are using this opportunity to bag some degrees in the UK and then come over here and continue. No education is a waste.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to point out, is that there's no education. There's no education that is actually a waste. It's no matter whatever you're doing would eventually count. It's now the only thing that I'm thinking of is to what degree would it count? To what extent would it count? If I'm going to do a 3 years or a 2 years master's program, only for it to take out 6 months for me from a master's program in the US, and my end goal is coming to the US, then personally, that's what I will consider not a very wise decision. So
Yeah.
that's the aspect I was looking at it from, not necessarily saying that it's a complete waste. No, it's not a waste. But if I'm going to do a 2 years master's program, or a 1 year, depending, like, if I don't know how long master's program takes in the UK, but let me use, for instance, an average of 18 months. If I'm going to do an 18 months master's program for it to cut off 6 months for me in the US, I wouldn't do it. I would not consider it a wise decision. But then I understand where some people don't want to sit down and not moving, or especially where, okay, the situation of a better hand is far much more than 100 in the bush. So let's start doing something from where we are at. That's completely fine. That I think that's reasonable.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. And then let's see more questions, and then we'll call it a day. Where are my comments? All right, so let's see. Yeah, for those that are needing, the Telegram handle is already there. You can click on it and join. And must be currently working as a mental health in order to do DMP in mental health. So must you be currently working as a mental health nurse to be able to get a degree, to go into the DMP doctoral degree program? Is it a requirement?
No, I already responded to her on the chat. I said it's not a requirement. You can switch specialties at any level you are.
All right, and then someone also said, okay, let me see. I just rounded up my BSM program here in Nigeria. Can I come into the US with my children to practice without applying for admission to school? We'd love to specialize later. So, Chimdi, how did you do yours?
Oh, I think that what the person is asking is if she can come into the US without going through is an academic route, which is what Decency NCLEX Academy does. Is taking people through the NCLEX program, through the, I believe that was the basis of the question. Is taking people through getting your CGFNX, verifying your credentials and writing the NCLEX, and coming in not as a student, but coming in as a as a nurse and working with your family, of course, getting a visa with your family. So that's the process we both took to come to the United States. I didn't come in as a student. I only came in, and while working, I decided to go to school.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for responding to that. And I think that will bring us to the end of today's session. Alexis, okay, let's read Alexis' question. Alexis, if you recently passed NCLEX this month and you only graduated from nursing school, is it a wise decision to start a part-time BSM program 4 years in Nigeria, I believe? What do you think? What's your best advice?
I would say just because I do not know how long the process is now taking. A couple of years ago, we could say, oh, once you pass your NCLEX, from passing your NCLEX to coming into the US, we could give an estimate of this is the number of months it will take you approximately. But right now, I don't know if we have that such confidence to say this takes this amount of time. If you had an estimated time, I would say it doesn't make sense ditch the BSN program and just come in and do your BSN here. But without having that guarantee of time, you could as well just start it. That way, when you come over to this place, you already have your BSN. And if you want to do your master's, instead of doing the BSN, you're starting your master's, because BSN is the one that I can tell you 100% that if you get your BSN, that when you come into the US, your BSN from Nigeria will count as a full BSN, as a full bachelor's program. So you can just go into you can just go in for your master's. And just to quickly also answer, DMP and PhD, are they the same thing? They are both doctorate degree level programs. They are both terminal degrees. It now depends. DMP is more clinical based, while PhD is more academic based. So if you're in the lecturing in school angle, if I'm teaching in a nursing school, if I'm aiming for growth in a nursing school kind of scenario, I'll be aiming for a PhD. But why? Because I'm growing in clinical practice and clinical area, I'm doing a DNP. Yeah, just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Dr. Chimdi. We really appreciate you. Hey guys, have you gained something today? Were you motivated? One of the things that I want you to take home today is what Chimdi said when we started the program. There is no best time. The best time is now. And you can't say it's impossible because she did it and she was able to finish strong. There's a part of, okay, don't bite more than you can chew, just do little by little and all that. And there's also a part of ambition and, someone having passion for something. Like she said, she used her desperation in a good way. She was desperate to acquire something. She was uncomfortable with where she was at the moment and she wanted something more. And that was the reason why she started looking outside the box and thinking to herself, you know what? I think I can be greater than my mother. I think I can be greater than my mentor. So some of you might not have a mom who has gone as high as Chimdi's mom has gone, but you have Chimdi today in this program as your motivation. Her mom may have motivated her, but today I want her to be a motivation to you, to aspire to reach higher. Don't stop at where you are. Always continue to look for more. God doesn't even want us to be at the same level. He wants us to grow. So I want you also to think of yourself as someone who has the capacity to grow, because it has to start from you. If you don't convince yourself that this is possible, trust me, it's going to be a flop. It's going to be a failure. So one thing that you have to do for yourself is to, first of all, agree with yourself. Let every cell in you, let every organ in you, let everything that is within you agree that you guys are going to do this together. And with that, you can start taking active steps towards becoming a doctoral degree program. So this program that we are doing, we have almost 52 Fridays in a year. We need 52 doctors that will be coming on live on our program. I'm looking at a time where people will be, coming and asking, I want to be on your program. And I was encouraged by someone who invited and all that. That's what I want in the next 2-3 years. We're going to be like that. But I want you to, first of all, be one of the people I will invite when the time comes, because you will hold your own doctoral degree program. Even if you don't have a doctoral degree program, and you should just find yourself very effective in whatever you are doing, and I'll find my way to reaching out to you and asking you to come to our program, just like we did with Chimdi. I believe she has encouraged a lot of us today, but I want her to drop her final words. And Chimdi, I didn't tell you the population of people we have here, majority of them are still in their countries back home. I see so many Cameroonians, my friends, that, I see some Ghanaians, I see Kenya, in this program. Most of them have, they have been greeted with retrogression in a very bad light, and they are just, on the process of, organizing themselves. One thing I want you to add in your final words is something that they can be doing right now when they are still waiting for this retrogression to clear, or when they are still waiting. This time of the process after passing NCLEX is just like a waiting game. You don't know when everything will be okay for you to come over here. But at that point, what do you think they can be doing while waiting? And also, any final thoughts or final word you have for us, please? Thank you.
So thank you very much for this opportunity. I think one of the things I love doing is sharing my experience. I feel like it's motivational or it's encouraging to people. I would say right now, just do everything possible in thinking of what you can do and in seeing the situation of things, in different African countries right now. It's so hard to even, a lot of people are finding it hard to survive. So it's difficult. What I would say is just do everything possible to survive. Do everything possible to keep going and keep your hope alive. It's worth it. Very worth it. As a nurse in the United States, that's a dream. That's the best decision. That's the best decision that I have taken. For the people I'm sponsoring in school in Nigeria. If you're not doing nursing, I'm only sponsoring people that are doing nursing, because I have seen firsthand that this is a dream come true. If all my siblings want to do nursing, I am completely fine with that. I feel like it's worth it. It's something that you would not regret. There are several pathways, a lot, not just as a nurse practitioner. Let me just, maybe this program, this particular topic was tailored more towards the nurse practitioner angle. But there are several pathways as a nurse that you can to as a nurse in the United States. A lot. It's so much that I cannot even count them. I don't even know all of them. You can go in the legal pathway. You can go into IT aspect, like the informatics. You can go into leadership aspect. You can go into research. You can go into flight. You can be a flight nurse. You can be just going with ambulance, EMT. The opportunities are endless. So it's just a matter of what do you want? What do you want? Where you want to go? So just have it in mind that you're getting to a place where your dreams are going to come true. And it's literally, it's that way. There's something to look forward to. A lot of time you see people complain from side, oh, we are overworked, we are over this. But I will tell you that when you come here, I think it's when you get to a point of relaxation that you start feeling, oh, I'm beginning to want more. I'm tired of doing this. So I don't think there's actually at any point, whether, even though I said at the beginning that I didn't like bedside nursing, which is true, even from Nigeria, I never liked bedside nursing. I worked with a health insurance when I graduated. I just didn't like bedside nursing. So even when I came here, it was the same thing. But all the same, if that is what I was still doing, still till now, I would still tell you that it's a world of difference, and it's something that you can look forward to. So I would say while you're waiting, I mean, anything that you can find. People say do learn handiworks like hair making. Unfortunately, I'm not the best at those. I'm not the best
Well,
at
you're
those.
doing well, though. I see your handwork on your daughter.
I'm not the best at those, but I mean, if there are things, there's no skill that ever hurts anybody. So if there's any skill you can add to your arsenal, that would be good. You have it, it's not going away. Any skill you get, it belongs to you. So you get it. If you get to a place and there is need for it in the location you find yourself, what I found out is that if I tell myself, okay, when people talk of learning how to make hair, and I calculate how many hours would it take me to make one person's hair? If it's going to take me 8 hours, think of if I picked an extra shift of 8 hours. There's nothing that person is paying you that would ever equate to what you would work for 2 hours as a nurse. So I don't understand it when I see all these people online saying making hair is oil money, this one is oil money. I don't know. Just keep pushing. till you get here. When you get here, if there's any other thing you want to learn, a good thing, YouTube is now everywhere. YouTube tutorials is everywhere now. If the content creators have made life easy for us, so now you can learn anything from the comfort of your home. Yeah, so I think that's basically it. And whatever you want to do, you can achieve it. It's just a matter of being determined enough.
Right. Okay, thank you so much. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to say goodbye, but we won't do that until we have said thank you to our guests. So on the comment section, guys, show appreciation, please. Okay. All right. On the comment section, please kindly show appreciation to our guests. And, we hope that when we call you back again, we hope that you would oblige us and come for our program. In the same time, I want to introduce our next topic for next Friday. It's going to be tech skill to scale your career in 2025. So we're already looking at 2025 because I know people who are here, definitely we are crossing over to 2025. And there in 2025, we want to stay very active, very productive, and very successful. So in 2025, we all want to be tech gurus. In nursing, you're no darling. There's a question someone was asking about AI taking over nursing job. Nope, it's not doing it. No. I can't even let AI come and take me in for surgery. Come on. How can AI come to, like for instance, I'm working as I'm just came. Okay, I had an accident and someone comes and it's just the robot. Robot comes to me at the point of accident. In fact, with my closed one eye, I would tell the robot, please, I don't need your service. I need human beings to take care of me. And that is just my own perception. A lot of people have been have been saying that AI is taking a lot of job, and is also, some people are saying it's going to be a threat to nurses because sometime in the future, people are expecting that some AIs will be, created that will be able to serve medications without error, do surgeries without any error and the rest of them. Well, I don't know if we'll be living in that world where everything will be mechanized like that. And there is a human empathy that comes with nursing that AI does not have. AI is programmed. In nursing, things can change. There's always a detour somewhere. You can be moving this direction and say, this is the way the book wrote it. But in the real sense of maybe you open somebody's abdomen and you find something else that is not even in the MRI or CT scan. And then what are you going to do? You're going to go by the AI or you go by what you know as a human being. So it's going to be difficult to let AI handle healthcare in general. So mental health also is not somewhere that AI can go, because you can't say all psychiatric patients behave the same. Psychiatric patients can be behaving well now, and just a flip of moment, they have already changed and they are carrying weapon looking for someone to hit their head. I bet you if AI robots enter psychiatric ward, it will turn to weapon that they will use to hit themselves. Honestly, they're gonna be very, very. And then there's also some, like when somebody is violent, they put the person on hold. And how can AI put a human being on hold? You can imagine. And my mind is just going up and down. AI cannot take our job, guys. That's one of the reasons why I love nursing profession. So if you have friends that are so scared of their job, that AI is going to take it over in the coming days or months or years, come on, tell them to come over to nursing, because it's not coming here. It's not going to take our job away. All right. That being said, we are going to be learning skills on technology. So there are some basic test skill that you can get that will help you. Of course, everybody now that can afford a ring light is a content creator. If you can afford a ring light and a microphone, before you know it, they're on the streets doing one experiment or the other, asking people questions and all that. Many people have actually ventured into content creation and all that without even knowing what they are doing. And some of them are earning money from it. I don't blame it. I'm not judging them, but I'm trying to ask you to come for this program that we're going to have next week, Friday, because we'll be exposing the technological skills that you can get, the test skill you can get in your career in this nursing profession. There are some test skills that you need. You know, if you come over to this country and you do not know how to use a computer, or you do not know how to document, or you don't know how to, you know, do basic things on the computer, you're going to be left out. And there are some other skills that you can have. You can even start, you know, working from home. There's so many things that we're going to be revealing on Friday that people do not know. Some people can actually make money in dollars from Nigeria, not by content creation, but just having the right and appropriate skill. So I invite you to for this program. Let your friends know and also invite your friends. And ladies and gentlemen, for today, we have come to the end of our meeting. And I want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Chimdindu Badejo for coming. She has been a great influence on a lot of people. A lot of destinies are hanging on her shoulders. She's been training a lot of nurses, you know, helping them with schools and all that. God is seeing you. I'm not saying it here to, God is the only person that is going to reward you. Thank you, Dr. Chimdi, for all that you're doing, and then for coming for the program. I really appreciate, and we love the fact that we called and you were able to come, and we pray that next time we call you, you also answer our call. All right, so guys, I want to thank you for all of you that showed up today. We are more than 100 in this meeting today. Thank you, guys, and we will see you again next week, Friday. So keep a date with us, and let's explore the test skill next week, Friday. God bless you all. Thank you. Bye.